here. So
yeah, so there's a whole lot to unpack there, right? But going into this next one, we need to have somebody that's going to encourage business to invest in the country.
all right,
Business isn't going to invest, huh?
I said based, yes.
Yeah. We need somebody that when they say they're gonna come over there with fucking hellfire and fury, that they fucking believe them. And short of that, those are the two things that we need, right? There's some other shit that I could want, right? Like I could want somebody that might actually be able to rally both parties, call a constitutional convention, get the federal government reduced in size back to its original limits, at least mostly. I could want those things, right? But the two things we fucking need, somebody that when they say they're going to fuck you up, that they believe them, and somebody that's business-minded so that the money starts going the ways that it needs to go.
Well, I would say that if you want those things, you should almost certainly vote for the Democratic Party. So...
we had the last 4 years of that, and inflation's then went up to, what's it at now? Matter of fact, I just went to the store.
3.9%, which is in
I
the
just went to the
acceptable
store,
range.
a pound of fucking sliced turkey for sandwich meat, $8 for a pound of fucking chicken or turkey. You don't do the grocery shopping in your house, do you?
No, I do. Prices have gone up a little bit. It looks like right now our inflation rate is 2.9% as of last month. And it updates
Where are you getting that statistic? Is that the federal government telling you that?
Nope. Tradingeconomics.com. Inflation CPI.
They got they're probably donors to the Democrat Party. Or some kind of sponsorship.
If it's something that disagrees with you, then it's got to be
I'm literally looking at the grocery store, bro. Like, I don't need to have some far and away idiot.
Do you remember what the price of that turkey was in 2020? Just off the top of your head, do you remember what the price of that?
Probably about $5.
You say probably. Do you remember?
Hello. If you want me to,
I'll
tell you what. If you're going to ask a question where you're asking me to guess,
well, you asked me a question. I Googled the answer. Then you said it was
I'm
fake.
just telling you, if you're gonna start the question off by asking me to take a guess, and then I take the guess, you don't get to criticize the guess.
I said off the top of your head. Do you know? You said.
It sounds like a fucking guess to me.
Well, maybe it's a guess. Maybe it's a really bad guess. You never know. Maybe it was $6.
It doesn't fucking matter if it's a good or a bad guess. It's my guess that you asked for. Don't criticize the fucking guess.
So would you say that your feeling about like how high the prices have risen? Would you say that those are vibe-based, or would you say that those are based off of something that you saw on the internet?
It's directly a result of them printing trillions of dollars during COVID. It's directly a result of the government forgiving fucking student debt. It's definitely a result of the government spending money that it doesn't fucking have.
Well, the second one you said didn't happen, so.
Thank God.
So, yeah, I looked at a different website, not a government website, and it says the exact same thing. So feel like
it's up another 2.9% from when?
No, it's at 2.9, and it's gone down since 2021. 2021, the inflation rate was 7%, which is way above the target. Then 2022, they averaged out inflation rate because it fluctuates month to month. Averaged out was 6.5. Then 2023, it was 3.4. And then this year, up to this point, has been 2.9. So it seems like they have gotten inflation under control, because the target inflation rate, I believe, is no more than 3.
Yeah, I don't got to be an economist to know that shit's costing more at the store.
Well, nobody disagrees that it costs more at the store.
Okay. And guess who's in office? Guess who's responsible?
What policy, when the inflation rate jumped up to 7, that was really bad?
I tell you what, it was probably it was probably in like the first 250 that Joe Biden signed by executive order within the first 3 fucking days of being in office. They completely turned the economy upside fucking down, where we were an energy producer and exporter to begging Venezuela
we're
for
still
fucking
energy
oil.
independent. We still have more oil than anybody else. I think we're still
And
producing more oil than anyone else.
And inflation compounds, right? The shit doesn't go back down, right? It was like, oh, we added another 7.9, and then we added this, and it goes. It
what
keeps
I'm saying
adding,
is,
right?
when the inflation was at its worst in 2021, none of the bills that Biden would have signed into law, and also none of the bills that he did, or nothing that he did executive action wise, would have affected this, because the president doesn't have that power. So this would have been all of the bills that passed during COVID, right? The bills that passed during COVID. Who was the president during that?
That was Trump.
That was Trump. And then
Yeah, it was Trump.
by the time that those things had taken into effect and would have been showing up on any kind of economic markers, that would have been 2021.
So what does the president actually have the power to be able to do during that time?
He has the ability. It was to the president has the ability to sign something into law and to heavily endorse bills and to set the agenda of the party.
Right. And in order for it to get to the point where he can sign that, it's got to do what?
It's got to go through the House and the Senate.
Got to go through the House and the Senate, right?
Yeah.
So who is the majority during that time?
It was the Democrats in the House and the Republicans in the Senate.
And somehow we end up with trillions of dollars just got spent away.
Well,
increase the inflation.
Well, yeah, that was under Trump, and he signed it into law, and he said it was a great thing.
And let's not forget that it's been under Democrat leadership, right? That we had a former president get fucking pop-shotted by some 20-year-old snot-nosed kid that outsmarted the Secret Service under Democratic leadership.
What was his party affiliation? Do you remember that?
Doesn't matter party affiliation.
Oh, if he was a Democrat, you would be screaming that the Democrat tried to kill.
Now,
oh, it doesn't matter because he was a Republican.
About Democrat leadership. That's
Did
what we're
Democrat
talking
leadership
about.
tell him to do that?
Democrats were not the ones that stopped the guy at the 1 hour notice that they had. Democrats are in office. They're in charge, right?
Wait,
and
hold
the
on.
Secret Service.
I just legitimately don't know what you mean by that.
Democrats are in charge right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was under Democrat leadership that we had a former president almost get pop shotted, but actually did get pop shotted.
Got a little bit of his
ear,
ear,
right? Yeah. Somehow,
okay.
20-year-old
does that mean
20-year-old snot-nosed kid was able to figure that shit out?
Okay,
and they had a full hour's notice. Dude was flying a drone, right?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I didn't watch all the investigate, like the House investigative whatever committee. I didn't watch all of that. I don't know exactly what happened. It seems like there was a massive fuck up, but I don't know how you can pin that on the Democrats. Yeah.
They're in office. That's literally all that people need.
Okay. So the inflation that came because of the COVID bills that happened, all of the bad shit that happened during COVID, January 6th, all of the riots that happened during BLM during the summer of 2020. The Republicans were in office. They were the ones that were in charge. So that was all of their fault. George
Soros was funded that summer.
Now we have someone else to blame. So if something bad happens under the Democrats, it's obviously the Democrats' fault directly. But if the Republicans are in charge, nothing that happens could be attributed to them.
Yeah, but what you're trying to do here is make a correlation to a non-government organization to a government organization that I'm specifically calling out. So I don't even know how you're making those
the Secret Service
work.
Is like a political entity?
Oh, I'm definitely saying that the Democrats were in charge. The Secret Service fumbled this football so fucking hard. It was this DEI bullshit that led to some motherfuckers getting put in places that they definitely shouldn't be, trying to protect the former president. right? So yeah,
What do you
Democrats
mean?
need to get them and all their bad fucking ideas out of government because I'm done hearing them.
Wait,
right?
hold on. I don't understand what you mean. The DEI? What are you talking about?
Yeah, didn't earn it, right? They got put there because they got the right thing between their legs or their skin's the right shade, right? That's why they got put there. It ain't because they could actually do the fucking job.
The people that were directly following this kid, do you know if they were women or black?
Oh, I don't know about the ones that were following them. I know the women that were definitely like 5'5", trying to protect a dude that's 6 foot.
They were
he's 6'2", 6'4". Trump is, right? How the fuck does that happen? Democrats are in charge, and there's DEI. You fucking tell me how this shit happened, Sondsol.
It sounds like there was like a massive fuck up in the communication and the like response of the Secret Service. I don't know if it's because of the women, the gays, and the blacks.
Well, and let's not forget that Biden refused to give Robert Kennedy Jr. any fucking Secret Service protection either.
Wait.
Biden refused it.
Well, I don't know if he's entitled to it.
I'll put it this way. They can grant it. That said, we're talking about a Kennedy that's running for political office. I don't know. These guys seem to have a fucking track record of needing that shit.
I don't think anyone cares enough about RFK to assassinate
You know
him.
what? They probably didn't think enough about Robert Kennedy either, but you know what?
He was a very popular politician. I mean, like we could keep on trying. We could like. I feel like I'm talking to Charlie in the basement of the business building in the mail room with all the yarn connecting a bunch of things. And like Pepe Sylvia, it's Pepe Sylvia. I feel like that's what I'm talking to because I literally can't. I'm literally not following. You're going all over the place with it, my guy.
No, I'm literally staying in one place, and I'm building the spider web, but I keep coming back to the same place, right? And the same place is that the Democrats are fucking rotten to the core.
Except you don't have anything to like directly say that the Democrats were the reason.
We're dropping the whole fucking party, right? Every fucking one of them will just have Republicans and Libertarians. Be done with Democrats. They got a history.
Democrats are the only good party in the United States right now.
The Democrats are the fucking racists. Democrats are racist, period. They're the only ones that wanted and actually and fucking put in their state legislative letters that they sent to the federal government that the white man is better than the black man and we want to leave. They did that. Democrats.
Are you talking about in
the Civil War? That's how far back that shit goes. That's right. That shit goes all the way back.
If
Democrats
that's the case,
are racist.
Why do black people support Democrats more? Why does like literally every minority group support?
You know what?
Democrats
I got something
more?
to share with you. On that note. You ready for this?
You think that the Republicans have more black support than the Democrats? One second, my cats are fighting.
His pussy's fighting now. There you go. We about to blow him up.
Sorry about that.
Here we go. No worries, bro.
Okay, so what are you sending me?
There we go.
Oh, you're showing me something.
You ready for this?
I thought you were about to show me some polling or something. Instead, you're showing me a video of one guy that made a nice car.
Oh shit, wrong one. Yeah, dude, I'm showing you our culture. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man.
All right, here we go.
I think you. Wait.
Nobody on this song, baby. Salute that boy. You know we coming in, we coming hard, we going tough. Let's go. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Hey. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Let's go. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Hey, Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. For real. Black MAGA, 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 black MAGA. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Donald Trump, the first black president. Ever seen a black patriot, yeah, we exist. The Democrats use my color just to stay rich. Indict my president, you might as well indict me too. Call me a Uncle Tom, but really what Obama do? Not a damn thing, Trump was just that Chick-fil-A. Taking flicks with my people, he really showing face. Hey, Joe Biden, yeah, I really want to taste some. Poor kids is just as talented as white kids in this country. 3.6 million black kids in poverty. But these liberals putting illegal immigrants right in front of me. We should make them vote at the gas pump. We got fake news mad cause us out here voting Trump. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president.
I don't think I need to go more. I'll send you the link. But
All right. Now I got
the
something.
point,
Okay.
that's just changing, bro. It's changing right before our very eyes.
Let's see here.
People are waking up.
Turn. Now, can you pull
Waking
this up
up.
real big on your screen for me real quick? So this was April 5th of this year. The Hispanic, Black, and Asian voters continue to favor the Democratic Party. And then if you scroll down right here, 83% of Black voters support the Democratic Party. Hispanic
This
voters,
is where we find out
61%.
just how deep the fucking seeds of betrayal to the country go. Right there, peer research. There you go. Pew research.
I forgot. You know what? I missed this. I forgot how impossible it was to talk about politics with you because there's like literally nothing that I can show you that you will ever change your mind on it. Like,
you know what? It should be refreshing to you though that the consistency stays there right over the years.
I mean, it's a terrible consistency. It's like spoiled milk. It's like it's just like lumpy and it's the same consistency,
it's like, look,
but it's a consistency that like shouldn't exist.
The reality is we've been going off of these fucking statistics, and you kids want to fucking, any of them out there like, oh, we got a statistic for this, we got a statistic for that, right? But as soon as the statistic doesn't support what it is that you're talking about, you drop it, right?
No, you change your opinion accordingly. I used to be a socialist, and then
black people are the most aggressive people. Why would you say that? Because the FBI crime statistics report that, right? But as soon as you say that,
I would change
it's like,
the
oh, there's a
wording
problem.
slightly. Aggressive, I would say that according to FBI
if they're the
statistics,
ones
black
that are
people
being
do more crime.
If black males are being convicted of more aggressive crimes, then it's not even a stretch, right? It's literal fact. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's like
do you
that's
think
the crazy
I'm
part,
going to
right?
argue with you that like black people commit less crime than white people? Do you think I'm going to argue with you on that?
But that's
Listen,
that's the
way
case
that
in
I've
point
lived
though. For when the statistics don't support what a Democrat would want, that they'd be like, oh well,
I don't think anyone would disagree with you on that. There's too much that shows that it's true.
Right. So that's why I personally don't like going by statistics when it comes to groups of people anyway, and I deal with people as individuals. And my individual experience tells me whenever I go to talk to people that they are pretty much done with all of the bullshit. The prices, the continuing, like people are waking up. It took COVID to wake up a majority of the country, and a majority of the country is now awake. And we're heading in a direction now to where, and this is what I tried to tell everybody 4 years ago. When the pendulum was swinging left, all you guys were super happy about it, right? Oh, yeah. I told you weren't going to be happy when it swung back the other way. Democrats were not able to deliver on anything positive for the country over the last 4 years.
You're just
Nothing.
So wrong. You're so wrong.
Name me one time in the last 3.5 years that Biden's been president where he's conducted some type of military action that we could actually be proud of.
We haven't engaged in any military action that.
Yes, we have. Actually, we've engaged in quite a few
hold on.
different.
You know what? I will say this. I was about to say like public or like widely publicized military action. But you know what? There is one that I can think of off the top of my head, and that would be us bombing the fuck out of the Houthis.
We started bombing the Houthis? Oh, wait, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
we fucking demolished them. It was actually super fucking based.
Yeah.
Our Navy is unbelievably fucking incredible. So
that I could have told you.
Yeah. You're a Navy guy. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But no, the thing that comes to mind whenever I think about that though is our pullout out of Afghanistan. That was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. You know why it was horrible?
That pretty much set the seed for what happened in Israel.
Absolutely not. They specifically stated why they did October 7th. You realize that part of the reason was because Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moved our embassy there, and that was part of the reason.
We've been saying for years that we were going to do it. He just finally had the balls to be the one to do it.
We never said that. I don't think that's been the official policy of literally any president. Now, if they did, that was a stupid thing to say, but they didn't do it because of the political ramifications of it. Because obviously it would heighten tensions in a part of the world that we're trying to constantly reduce tensions in. And if you want to talk about Afghanistan, it was like not a great pullout. It was about as good as we could do given the circumstances. You know where those circumstances came from? All of the negotiations beforehand. Who was that, CTV?
Sorry, I'm looking up the.
It was Trump that negotiated all of that. And he negotiated all of that.
You know what, the moving of the capital?
No. I'm talking about Afghanistan. When it came to Afghanistan, who negotiated all of that process?
Right. He had it all laid out. It was supposed to be.
The reason it was
he
bad.
Said as much.
The reason it was bad.
Is because Biden pulled the fucking military out first.
No. Trump did. He was the one that drew down our military there.
Trump wasn't fucking president.
He set the time scale with the Taliban. He was the one that negotiated with the Taliban. Wait, hold on. I do know about this. He was the one that negotiated with the Taliban without including the Afghanistan government in there. He completely cut them out of those conversations, agreed on a certain timetable by which we would be reducing our troop presence in Afghanistan. They had all of that in writing. All of that continued under Biden. And then when it came time to do it, there was a choice. Either we could walk back on our promise and start putting more troops into Afghanistan, and that would be a really bad political move, and it would be a really bad move in terms of, keeping us out of another war, right? Or he could stick to his guns and take the political hit for it. And Biden is the only president that was willing to take that fucking hit. Oh, okay. Sorry, I almost hung up by accident. If you want to know, there are parts of it that really sucked, but the parts of it that really sucked, guess who negotiated those things? It was Donald J. Trump, because he wanted to be the one that got us out of Afghanistan.
All right, now Trump was a president. Trump was making all of the steps to be able to do a pullout, right?
Yes.
But Biden gets in office. Biden's now the president. You don't pull the fucking military out first before you pull out your civilians and high value fucking people. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. You're like, I get reminded of that scene from fucking Inglorious Bastards, right?
Fuck, I haven't seen that in like 10 years.
Bro, he's like, you know what? You don't got to be a genius. No, you don't want to fight in the basement, right?
Wait, say it again.
And you don't want to fight in the basement. Remember that scene? It's like, you don't got to be a fucking genius. No, you don't want to fight in the basement.
No, I don't remember. Right? I remember.
Well, you don't got to be a genius.
For the first time, and that's about it.
You don't got to be a genius to know you don't want to pull the military out first. Hey, let's pull the people out with guns so that our people without guns can then be subject to other people that are not our people and they have guns. As a matter of fact, our plan is to pull the fucking military out and leave all of the equipment behind. So not only are we pulling out our armed people to leave our unarmed people there, but we're going to leave arms there so that unarmed people can then become armed with our arms and then point those arms at our unarmed people.
Let's say I'm actually curious. Timeline of troop levels in Afghanistan since 2001. Oh my God, all of these places are fucking paywalled. Can we get like a graph? Can we get...
Anyway. the sad but true situation that the everyday person finds himself in, Sondsol, is that they know what to expect with Trump, and they do not. But you know what? And they kind of know what to expect. As a matter of fact, they know exactly what to expect with Harris. The same shit they've been getting with Biden.
I'm sorry, I just found
they're
something
not
that's
happy about
really
that.
rough. I found something that's really rough. Damn it. You were right.
Getting the same shit.
You were right. They pulled down the forces. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I was reading the dates wrong. It was actually under Donald Trump that the troops went down below 10,000 troops. In 1 year, he pulled out, looks like, right around 10,000 troops. And by the end of his time there were only 4,000. It was him that pulled down our troop numbers there.
Yeah, that's how you start a move out. When it comes to the last part of it, though, you don't pull out the fucking military first, which is what they did.
That happened under Trump. That's what I'm telling you. I'm looking at a graph right now. Do I need to share screen with you? Or here, I'll just screen cap it.
There you go. There's the ad or the article from NPR about the specific incident that we're talking about.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find where they're talking about the drawdown. One sec. This isn't talking about the troop levels. This is just talking about the political implications to...
Because it was that pullout that went so horribly wrong that the American people after that.
Who set the stage for that withdrawal? Who was the one that negotiated the pullout of Afghanistan?
Look,
Donald Trump. He was the one that was bragging about it. He was bragging about it.
I get that you're inexperienced with any type of military operation is why
I probably
you're
have just as much. No, well, you're right. But I probably have
Because
just as
here's
much
the reality.
military experience as Donald Trump, who was the chief negotiator with the Taliban when he went around the Afghanistan government, the government of Afghanistan. He went around their back,
Right.
and
So
negotiated this, and he started drawing down the troop levels to below 10,000 before Biden even took office. Right? He set a timetable for when we were going to pull out. He didn't set up any support for the government of Afghanistan.
Okay.
So is it all fall on Biden?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Only Democrats can do something wrong.
No,
whether it's
because
hold on, because we've been over inflation, which
are you gonna
began
listen?
because of policies under Trump. I will listen after I
You're
finish
not gonna
this.
listen.
I promise you I will.
Wow.
You know me, you love me, and this is why you love me, because I spit facts at you. First, we went over inflation.
No, seriously, it comes down to the commander-in-chief. If a part of the plans, the Trump plans, right, it's written down, pull out military first, leave unarmed civilians, then sure. I guarantee you that wasn't the case. So setting everything up, which does take time to move things logistically, you're pulling out people, you're pulling out officials, blah, blah, blah. You would set those things up. When it comes to the last operation, right, or the last few operations, you don't pull out the people that are protecting the unarmed people. That's the basics of what it comes down to. That's it. So all the pre-setting up, all that stuff, it comes down to the last few operations where there was no thought to protecting the unarmed people that were still there. It was a bad event.
29th of 2020. U.S.
And if you're not all that familiar with it, then that's fine, because there's shit that I'm not. But that one right there specifically stands out in my mind.
Okay, well here's what I'll say. All right, so first, I will agree, it wasn't a great pullout of Afghanistan. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was. I'm saying it's probably about as good as it could be, given the circumstances that preceded it. right?
I don't agree though, but that's
Like,
me.
well, how about this? I'll add this caveat. All right. It was probably as good as it could be without increasing the amount of troops on the ground. If we were
No,
to keep to the timetable that was laid out by the Trump administration, I mean, like it seems to be like, I mean, I'm looking at one article from 2021.
well, anyway,
Trump officials back away
you,
from 2020 Taliban peace deal after withdrawal chaos because they didn't want to be associated with it, even though it was their deal that they were enacting. But we can move on to a different topic.
yeah, we can just not agree, and that's fine,
Yeah.
right? You know, but
this
like,
is the frustration.
It's my opinion. It's
Yeah.
my opinion, right? That pullout specifically led to emboldening other characters in the region to then start doing the things that, like the Houthis down in fucking Yemen, right? They start seeing that there's not a strong United States. Let's start testing these motherfuckers. That's exactly what they did.
And then they fucked around and they found out, didn't they?
And people are still fucking around, right? And we still haven't got our shit straight. And who's fucking president?
What do you mean they're still fucking around? Every single time they try and do something now, like it was a like crazy big deal when it first started, but then we blew up like 150 of their launch silos, and they haven't really recovered from that. They'll try and launch off something every once in a while, and then the second that they do, our 5G like giga military tech pinpoints their asshole, and we drive a fucking Tomahawk missile straight up it. Like, dog, you're zooted, aren't you?
I'm kind of,
zooted.
honestly, I'm kind of more like, I don't know. I guess it's,
sorry, I might be coming off a little bit too strong. Here, I'll smoke some weed too. I'm not trying to be like super big. So something I've been talking with, you remember Doghouse?
Yeah.
Something I've been talking about with Doghouse is there's different ways conversations can go, right? And for like the past 2 years, I've gone about doing conversations in a specific way. And it was very, I probably gave, and this was both with left-leaning people and right-leaning people when I was arguing. I gave way too much up, and I was trying to be way too nice. And these people were very obviously arguing in bad faith. These people were very obviously like they don't believe the things that they're fucking saying. And so,
well, that's those people right there. We pretty much know who those people are, though.
I don't think you would agree on which people, because I have specific names in mind, but I'm not
well,
gonna...
those people though are different to each individual. Because you might not
can you
be.
Repeat that last sentence.
I said those the people, like the people that you'd have on your list might not be the people that are on my list, because that list is always going to be unique to the individual, right? That said, though, there is some commonalities between them, and if we could ever get the commonalities between them to actually get together and work, you could have decent conversations most of the time, and it'd be not having somebody that is just trying to drive a point instead.
Well, I feel like if I got like these kinds of people together and tried to like work towards their strengths, and they were able to like work together to have a conversation, it would just be like a huge lie fest. I'm tired of people fucking lying to me, right? I'm fine with people being wrong, right? But I'm tired of people fucking lying about what they believe, because it makes it impossible. Like the only time that it was less frustrating was when I was arguing with Nazis, because the only reason that they lied about what they believed is because they didn't want to get banned off the platform. But they did it in a way where like you knew what they actually believed, like, yeah.
I never really went like hunting for those people, but I did run into a couple of them, to be sure.
I love shitting down their Nazi fucking throats. All right. I don't like bad people. All right.
I don't like bad people either, but then I guess maybe this is the the old age kicking in, right? But I'm a lot more pick and choose your battles anymore,
No,
right?
no, you know what? I've talked about this a lot recently. Uh, Probably since last year. When it comes to like all of the drama stuff, when it comes to like talking to specific people, I just don't anymore. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or if it's because the arguments are stale or if it's because like I don't know what it is. I think I'm getting old though because I don't find as much pleasure in, doing the streams slop, all the drama coverage and, jumping into the dramas or like specifically seeking someone out to have a conversation who I think is a bad, you know, a dishonest person or something like that, or someone who's just like super wrong. I don't like go out of my way to talk to people. If they pop up in my chat, usually fine to have them on. But like I am much pickier about who I talk to nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I think before it was less of a consideration about your own mental health, right? And say more about because it's fun, right? It's fun building a channel. It's fun building a community. It's fun doing. It's fun streaming, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun to it, but you can get lost. You can get lost in that pretty easy.
Yeah, you can.
And that's where like I'm glad I took my break because slowing down and actually just kind of connecting back with nature, which is why I'm glad like during the day, man, I'm out working in the sun, doing landscape work.
Mm.
It's easy. I don't have to think much about it. I'm listening to audiobooks while I'm doing it, so it's good work for me. But
Yeah, no, I understand. I feel
com-
like it's not so much
the
like
conversations with people though, they like it's like I understand that there are a lot of people that put a lot of faith in statistics from different places and this, that, and the other. But for me, I've always put more faith in my gut than I have anything else because that's been the thing that has kept me out of shit in some cases, And
Yeah.
my gut tells me with everything that's going on, based off of how I know that the Constitution frames the government, and then also like the things that I would do different if I was actually the guy making the call.
Mm.
But the idea of, and that's where like you and I've had lengthy conversations about government, this and that. So it's not even like we don't have to go through all of that to get to where we can just, we just disagree, and it just be cool. Whereas with other people, they want to try to hold a grudge. They want to, they're looking for that.
No, you're not that. Nah, you're not that person for me. There are some people that I would be like, I'm gonna hold you to the fucking fire. You're going to answer me this fucking question. Yeah, but like, I think that something that has kind of changed for me is so like I said, I just really don't like bad people, right? And I think that in the past, especially during my socialist days, I had a really bad gauge of what a bad person was, right? I was listening to too much like ideologically, focused, things where, essentially if someone has X opinion, then they don't have any moral consideration or some shit like that, Uh-oh, man's lost his lighter.
Yeah, but I'm listening.
If you were a real man, you'd have flint and steel embedded into your teeth so you could just chomp and spit it out.
You know what? What I really need is I need like something off the computer case. Just,
Let's fucking go. But oh shit, yeah, no, I took 2 hits and now I can feel it. But yeah, I think that my gauge for like someone's moral character, it wasn't like the worst in the world, but I think I gave too much grace to some pretty horrible people, and I attacked some people in a way that they probably didn't deserve, right? Like I used to fucking despise Rob Noor. Okay, I used to think he was like fucking scum of the earth, right? I don't think that he's scum of the earth.
I don't know why.
Well, it like the argumentation and the politics of it all, like especially very early on. But I think like close to take a breath, breathe. The coughing makes you get higher, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, right.
But I
Where
think
did that
like
fucking lighter go? I just here's a different.
check your pockets.
I did, right?
But yeah, so I think it like close to like I think it was probably like beginning of 2021, maybe mid 2021, where like I started shifting out of that socialist like bubble. I started changing my opinions on some stuff and talked to Rob some, and he's like actually in real life a really excellent person, right? Now, especially with some of the stuff that's happened recently. Oh man, I'm gonna give you a second, all right? Get some water. Damn, man's dying. Give me a thumbs up if you're alive. Okay. But yeah, he's like a that's the CTV I fucking know. There we go. I thought it felt so weird seeing you without it. Yeah, I he's like a in real life like stuff. He's like a really excellent dude. Now, I think that I don't know if he's spiraling right now or something. Like something's going on with him, but I don't think he's a bad person, right? Heavily disagree with a lot of the stupid shit that he says, and I don't know why he's doing the things that he's doing in regards to Twitter right now, because that shit's been crazy. But yeah, I don't know.
Saying?
Dog, he had a debate with Destiny that I
heard a little bit about that.
It was long, torturous, and the fallout of it was the real bad thing, right? And I just saw
fallout.
So there was they talked for like 5 hours, okay? And it was the most grueling type of debate you've ever heard in your entire life. It was difficult to listen to. I only listened to it because I wanted to hear how Rob argued against it, because he's probably the best right-leaning debater, right? And man,
yeah, I'd say that
there were some things in there that he just wouldn't concede that were just like, there's no way you don't believe this, right? Like, if someone breaks into your house and they have a Glock on them, right? And you pop out and they shoot you, would that be considered manslaughter or murder, right? It's obviously murder, because he's using a weapon in furtherance of a crime. But Rob said he didn't know, and it would really depend on like some factors, because they're debating about January 6th, and he didn't want to like bite a bullet that if someone uses a weapon in furtherance of a crime, or if they like bring a weapon along with them to do a crime, that doesn't mean he wanted to say that doesn't mean they were planning on using it, right? Like if you rob a liquor store, right, and you're unarmed, you're probably not planning on shooting someone.
You know what? I definitely understand exactly what he's talking about.
Okay, maybe you can explain it to me, right? So, like, tell me this:
it's one of those. It's one of those catch-22s, right? You know, it's like in this situation it's okay, but in this other situation you end up fucked, right? And that situation is, say I'm out just on a fucking stroll and I'm carrying my Beretta with me, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Now. Yeah, say I'm at fucking January 6th. Say I'm in DC, the shit's going down, I got my fucking Beretta at me, and it's okay in DC to carry at the time. We'll just say that it is. We'll say it's like Florida, right? I got my concealed carry permit, I can carry, no fucking worries, right?
Right.
Now, a bunch of dumbasses start doing some dumb shit, and next thing you know, fucking barricades get thrown out, this, that, and the other, and then somehow I end up in custody. I have my gun on me. Now they're trying to throw another extra fucking charge at me, and I'm like, fuck you, assholes. And I'm sure that's exactly the situation that Rob...
if you were fighting the cops and you had the Glock on you, that might be. But if you were just like there, I don't think that's what they're talking about. It would be like
the point in that would
I
be
understand what you
the only
mean.
reason why. Yeah.
But like,
So if I
this is
had the weapon
a
on
closer
me
analogy
for self-defense,
yeah, here's a closer analogy.
Okay,
like if you went to rob a liquor store, if you had a gun with you, would you consider that like, what if someone robs a liquor store and they have a gun on them? Why do they have the gun?
well, for one, I believe that if you purposefully use a gun in the commission of any crime, that at a minimum you should lose your firearms rights for life. Period. Well, you made a conscious choice.
Well, what if you have the gun, right? But you're not like immediately pointing it at them, but you go to rob the liquor store, you say, "Hey, I'm robbing you. I've got a gun." Right?
That's a threat of force.
Yeah.
And you're using
That's what they were talking about.
The person's not doing it because you said some words to them. The person's doing what you're saying now because you have
a weapon.
you have a fucking gun, right?
Yeah. And so like if I'm not incorrect, and I'm pretty sure this is exactly what the point was, like Rob wouldn't, this was very early on in the conversation. I was like, Rob, what the fuck are you doing? Like I know you're smarter than this.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So let's say that somebody is open carrying a firearm. They've got it in their holster, right? There's, and for the purposes of this scenario, we're going to say that weapon does not have like a strap over it, right? It's just like a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Old West
ready
style,
to come out, right? Exactly. Now, if that person says, in 5 seconds, I'm going to pull my gun out and shoot you.
I love how he's standing up right now. Yeah.
I didn't hear. Right.
Oh, no,
so
no. You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So he says that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have 5 seconds to make a choice to shoot this son of a or get shot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Well, isn't he the one that's sticking you up? That's self-defense at that point.
Bro, the gun's in the holster. He said some words. What do you do?
I'm like 99. Well, actually, it depends on the state. Some of these states are like really cucked with their self-defense. I'd shoot him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not fucking. Okay. Listen, I thought you were asking me a question on whether that's self-defense or not. Okay. Yeah.
No,
I'd fucking
what
shoot the
do?
guy. Yeah. I shoot the guy. Yeah. No fucking shit.
You're like, wonder if you end up in like that 10-second hold. You're like, well, that's a lot to think about. Wait,
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Also, I just got high too. Okay. You're gonna have to give me like at least, like 50% more time on any question. Don't put me under pressure, motherfucker. But yeah, it basically the argument was about to get to the point where Destiny was going to say, well, there's a bunch of people outside of the Capitol. Some of them are armed. Some of them do have firearms. A lot of them have, like pole arms and shit like that. And they've erected a gallows. Like, do you not think that they're threatening violence? Like they're brandishing weapons and they're like getting rowdy, and like are the weapons not a threat? And like Rob,
well, the biggest thing with January is that the actual Democrats, right? And I don't think you're an actual Democrat. I think you're a free-thinking American. Okay, but the actual Democrats, right? They fucking they want to believe, they want to paint, right? The Trump and anybody that supports him in a way that makes it easier for them to divide and conquer. That's not it's the same Democrat playbook since way back when. They, instead of trying to actually hold to some type of value, some type of like, these are the kinds of policies that you can expect from our party every time we get into office. We're going to be the ones reducing the size, and we're going to actually be taking steps to do that. Now, all it is now is them playing the we're trying to appease a particular group of people so that we can have that group of people vote for us every time. And they build their whole voting platform around that. At least the Republicans over time have tried to hold their party to a set of ideals. I mean, the whole fucking reason the Republican Party was created to begin with.
The Party of even like from 2010 and earlier, every single politician from that time period is rolling in their graves over January 6th, and you know it.
I think that there were some bad actors that were in the crowds.
I talked
that
to you
were there
the
for
night that it happened, CTV. We were all fucked up about it. You were fucked up.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it. But the reality of it is that having that many people there, it wasn't hard for them to set off, you know, and if you got which there were lots of reports of, you know, there being guys that were there purposefully being bad actors, and there's videos to that effect, right? Where they were encouraging, they had their own plan, they were fucking doing a thing. Those are the people that should be fucking next 20 years. Think about it in a fucking box, asshole.
Well, yeah,
right?
I think that the seditious conspiracy people, the and if you remember Suspect
What do you mean
Sushi,
conspiracy people?
It's a crime. It's a charge. Seditious conspiracy. You conspire to commit sedition.
Okay, so how did Sushi come into that? Because
Suspect Sushi, because he was part of that plot. Did you not know?
I
that?
saw the video of what he did specifically. There wasn't no part of anything that
you
they
saw the
did
part of
that
him
I
in
would
the
have called.
Capitol. But I don't. To be
There's
clear, he didn't.
video
Hold on,
of
really
touring news in the Capitol on that day too.
Are you fucking kidding me? I have never heard that.
Yeah. I'm like almost certain.
How the fuck did he not get charged?
Positive that
I don't think that they allowed people in unless he
I'm
literally.
pretty sure touring news was there too.
I've never heard that. The only person that I know of, yeah, like if someone like
because I know Dylan was out.
Yeah.
Dylan was out away from everything, right?
Yeah, he didn't.
But
go
I know
in.
that I'm pretty sure touring news was up closer to the shit.
But if he trespassed
I
on
don't
the
think
grounds,
I don't think he went in, but he was definitely
I thought that's what you were saying.
Up on the steps. Because like I saw a video from he was out, not in the building, but out, you know, on the thing, steps looking down.
I thought you were saying he was inside. I was like, damn, what the fuck?
No, I'm saying he was there. Like,
but Suspect Sushi did go in, but like to be clear, let me be
I didn't see a video of him going in, but even if he did go in, I'd still say the same thing for all the other people that walked in peacefully. They shouldn't be getting fucking charged.
Well, hold on. Let's
the government should be held responsible for Ashley Babbitt. The asshole that shot her should be in fucking jail.
She got warned like 5 times at gunpoint to stop smashing the glass. It is tragic that she died, but like
she wasn't the one smashing the glass.
Is there not literally a video? There's literally a video of her at the glass, and she was continuing to smash the glass, and there were barricades, and she was trying to get
going through the glass, not smashing the glass.
Oh, so she was entering the area that the guy with the Glock in his hand said, "Do not enter, or I'm going to shoot you." And
she was the only one that got shot that day.
She was the only one stupid enough to charge the guy with a gun who was telling her repeatedly.
She was crawling through a fucking window.
Yeah, and that was the last. There were lawmakers inside of that room, and he was saying, "Do not come in here." I don't know.
That guy needs to be charged.
Okay, well,
and the government needs to be held responsible.
We're never going to agree on that. Okay, so I'm going to move past it. I do not know in what world someone can like directly disobey like a officer who is pointing a gun at them and saying, "Do not enter in here, or I will shoot."
I don't know in what world where we have, you know, the government on one hand inviting people through the fucking door, and then on the other hand losing complete control to where people even get to that fucking point where they're
no one got invited. Every single video, every single video,
the government was for that fucking day.
It is crazy how
it was like every other person. As a matter of fact, leading up to that event, streamers all over Twitch were talking about how tense that situation was going to be up there. My wife and I had a conversation for 2 fucking days about whether or not I was going to go up there.
But before we get into that, I just want to.
She was that my ass was in DC when the shit happened.
I am very happy that you were not there as well. But I just want to, before
So
I
just
forget,
say
because
it,
I'm
bro.
high, I'm going to forget if I don't say it. Okay. The part about the seditious conspiracy, that was the Proud Boys had a specific plan. You should read through the indictment on that shit. It is absolutely fucking buck wild. Like the amount of coordination that they had, and like they knew exactly what they were doing. They were trying to help like overthrow the government. And there's like screenshots
I don't know how they're
of
planning on overthrowing the government in a day. I mean, come on.
it's
Like the worst plan ever.
It might be, just because it's a bad plan doesn't mean that it wasn't a plan.
Well,
But anyway, they were the first ones. They were the ones that were the leading charge in every single breach of barricades. Like they were like very coordinated. They were like, we're going to attack this gate. Okay, where's the next weakest point in the security? Oh, it's over there. They had walkie talkies and they had their little signal encrypted group chat, and they all met up at that gate and they fucking charged in. The first person that broke into the Capitol was it Joe Biggs? But it was like the second in command of the Proud Boys. And I don't know as much about the Oath Keepers, but they also had some kind of like wacky ass fucking plan.
really? The Oath Keepers?
Yeah, the Oath Keepers were the other group that had people convicted of seditious conspiracy. Like it was blatant.
So it doesn't sound like there's anybody tied directly to Trump there.
Well, they were the Proud Boys, you know, that line that everyone attacked Trump for, and everyone said, listen, it was a misspeak, or, you know, Proud Boys stand back and stand by. Yeah, they talked about that a lot in their group chat, dude. They were like, Trump told us to stand back and stand by, and here we are. And then they did little saluting emojis. They took that as an invitation.
So what part of stand back and stand by means go fucking do this?
Well, that's how they took it to be. And then
that sounds like a them problem.
Well, it was a them problem. They're the ones that got convicted and sentenced.
Right.
Like
now, why did the Proud Boys even end up being a thing at all?
I don't know. They really hated feminists at first.
No, because Antifa started fucking attacking people in the streets. So then the Proud Boys, they started coming together to form at these fucking... No, it didn't. I watched it, bro.
Are you talking about
Antifa was attacking people in the fucking streets during this whole summer of fucking whatever the fuck.
I thought
right. So then the Proud Boys were the group of guys that came together to fight back against these fucking assholes.
Have been around since like 2016, 2017. I
don't know anything about that. I'm just telling you when the motherfuckers start showing up on the scene and why they did.
I understand. I thought you were talking about like why they.
I don't give a fuck about their history. I care about when they started showing up on the scene and actually started doing shit. Right? Like before this, I didn't know fuck all about them. Right? I started hearing them after the Antifa motherfuckers all dressed in black started attacking people, and we were watching that shit too.
Yeah, Antifa and Proud Boys have been fighting for years before 2020,
and that's how that's.
Yeah,
I know that the Antifa fuckheads were doing that shit for a while before anybody was fighting back against that shit, and everybody was even saying who's actually gonna fucking fight, you know, who's gonna start standing up for themselves. That was the question that was being asked. So,
well,
but yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but yeah, just like in terms of we were talking about like damn, we've kind of winded pretty far. This is what happens when both people smoke weed. But we were talking about like good and bad people. I keep on trying to make sure that I make it clear. I think that Rob is a good dude. Man, it feels like something's going on and I don't understand it right now. But just like in terms of like people that like, I have no desire to talk to people that I see as very, very dishonest or very, very, content brained. Like they'll just like lie to to make their audience happy, whether it's like lying about you or like it's just like 90% of lefties are just completely out of bounds for me. I don't want to talk to any of them because they have no fucking values. They will say and do fucking anything to like make their side look good. And it doesn't make them look good except for to themselves, which is why socialism is dying off. But like it's just like, why would I ever want to talk to someone that doesn't take any conversation seriously, that doesn't care about like the fact of the matter, like would never change their mind on anything. Their entire point is just to go in there and get dunks. Like real frustrating nowadays.
That's been that way. Well, it's probably because you're leaning a little bit. Well, I wouldn't even say leaning. I'd just say everybody else fucking further. Fucking you probably are now.
I mean, like,
if we
technical terms, but like most of the stuff that I used
you should have the right. Do you feel like you have the right to defend yourself regardless of what as a matter of fact, with any of the stuff I'm about to ask you, right? Regardless of whatever the fuck anybody else says, right? Do you feel like you have the right to defend yourself by any means necessary?
I mean, like, if you're talking about self-defense, yeah. Like if someone's aggressing on me?
Self-defense is it. There's so many different levels, right? And so many different places that you might need to defend yourself from. Fucking nature, other people, the fucking government. Do you feel like that you should have the right, or that you do have the right to defend yourself?
It's such a
like necessary.
Like I think I know what you're asking me, but like the way you're asking it, like could just like endorse like literally all kinds of violence that I wouldn't necessarily subscribe to. I know what you're talking about. I think that you should be able to
right quick.
Yeah.
You think about that? I'll be right back.
Maybe, hey, listen, CTV's chat. If you guys, maybe it's my high lefty brain. All right. Maybe you guys, or maybe CTV is himself fucking crazy. All right. Someone translate it for me. See if I got it right or wrong. Oh shit! Someone just followed him named H-Town Fella. We got a Houston person in chat, my guy. Let's go. H-Tine hold a dine. Is there anyone who line item agrees with everything any political party stands for? They aren't thinking for themselves enough. I mean, yeah, obviously. Like you gotta, Talon, any means, no. It's like the way he's asking the question makes it impossible to say yes. Yeah, like the way that you're asking the question could like, oh well,
yeah, but now I can't hear you because I fucking went out of range on my raindrops.
Oh shit! Tell me when you can hear me. I'll just keep on talking until you can hear me. Oh, he's got to reset him. Boy's got that high tech. Oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Is it cutting out?
Test. Hello?
Fucking raindrops.
Testing. I'm just going to keep on talking until you tell me to stop. Just talking until you tell me that you can hear me. Blah, 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 blah. Hello. CTV. Is it? Oh, his internet just cut out. Oh, shit. Let's see if he jumps back in here. Uh-oh. Well, this is rough. We'll give him a couple more seconds. How are you guys enjoying the conversation? How many people we got here? 10 people on Twitch? 2 people on YouTube? Chat, how are you guys doing? You guys feeling all right? You guys feeling okay? Give me some feedback. I'm still here. Would leave if I hated it. Yeah, CTV is a good dude. He's a really good dude. He's just he's just a touch difficult sometimes, you know? Uh-oh. CT, I think his internet completely cut out. Here, I'll hang up for now. And we can... Okay, one second. I'm a little bit curious. Uh-oh, I think his stream's coming back up. It's hard to have an argument on someone. Goes 100% off vibes. True. But he's not a bad dude. I've known this guy for a long time. We've talked fucking tons of hours. I remember probably I got super fucked up. I was so like actually fucking upset because CTV wanted to have a meme debate one time, but when he worded it to me, it didn't sound like a meme. So I was like really trying to like convince him to get the vaccine, and he was memeing on me. And I was like, wait, motherfucker, I'm trying to help you. I care about you. All right, you're alive.
Thanks. I had to stop streaming in order to get that back.
Yeah, I could see that your stream went down.
Yeah, whole network locked up, man. So trying to do too much, I think. But yeah,
are you going back live again?
no, I'm not gonna worry about it.
I'll just tell your chat.
Yeah.
There we go. But what was I gonna say? Oh shit!
Well,
I was
we
just
were
telling.
talking.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we were talking about the different scenarios about carrying a weapon.
Oh yeah. The self-defense thing.
Different.
Yeah. The way that you asked the question, it would like you could like say by any means necessary. So like if someone pulled a gun on me and I was able to tackle them down, I could like sexually torture them for a year. Like that's any means necessary.
That's not defending yourself though. That's literally inflicting torture.
Yeah.
That's something different, isn't it?
Right. So like because of how vague the question was, like I understand. I think
no,
where
it's
you're
literally
coming from.
literally defending yourself, right? So instead of you trying to include all these other caveats where you probably would be able to
I'll just say
explain
this.
it
I
off
agree
as-
with you because I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I was like memeing around
that's-
a little bit, but then it got serious, and now I want to move past it.
Yeah, I mean that's this, you know, so to me that's like it's a core thing, right? Is I
Right.
feel like I should be able to defend myself by any means necessary. You know, so and it's one of those where like there's a hard and very fast rule of if you cross the line into violence, you don't get to complain about how someone defends themselves either. Right? You made the choice to cross the line into violence. So if you push somebody, right, and then you end up fucking shot in the head, well,
Yeah, I mean, I generally agree. Yeah.
you know, you made the choice. So like that, so it's like once you understand, like there's that one principle, right, and then over time you end up developing other principles, right? Like don't spend more than you make. Because if you do, you're going to end up in fucking ruin. I continue to see the same thing happen, not only with individuals, but with our government as well, in a very bad way, right? Like, the government never does anything as efficient as the free market. That's just true. You know, so it's like once you have these things that you understand, you know to be true, then it becomes like, okay, what is the function of government actually supposed to be? Is it actually feasible to be able to create equity between individuals? And the answer to that is resounding fucking no. It will never happen. And since that shit will never happen, and all it will ever do is cut the legs out from people that would be able to achieve more but can't now because the government's chopping their fucking legs off in order to try to give them over to here to somebody that can't make fucking use out of it. So when I do that, then it's not a party thing, it's a principle thing. And then when I look at who we have to choose from right now, I know that I was much better off under Trump. You know that you were much better off under Trump. And this time around, people don't even need to like know. The people that already knew, they still know. And the people that are finding out are spreading that message.
I was with you for a bit there, but I'm not gonna lie. Towards the end, I started disagreeing with you on some stuff. Like
that's because it
yeah,
went
I mean,
more
there's
into
gonna
the
be stuff that we
politics,
disagree on,
'cause-
but
Yeah.
here's the thing. I know that when you say something, you genuinely believe it, and I do believe that you want to like shrink the size of government. You don't like that. You don't think that government is as efficient as it as anything else. Like I disagree with you on that. But the really like for me, I
Yeah,
think
but
at this
that's
point, because I've gotten
it,
super
you can
patriotic.
disagree, but you know my opinion is coming from a place of experience.
I mean, listen, I'm not too young to have experience at this point. Okay,
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not. That's not even an age thing. That has literally to do with me being inside of the fucking federal
Yeah, I mean,
fucking workhouse, right? That's what I'm talking about.
There's going to be some government waste, and that's stuff that we should cut down on. But like, here's like my big thing. I don't even care if someone has that opinion. I'm fine with like that kind of, you know, conservatism, like the fiscal conservatism, that sort of stuff. But man, like in the past 2 years, I went from being like a actual America hating fucking commie, all right, in 2020, right, to kind of apathetic, like, okay, I guess we do some cool things. Now, you know what? The more I learn about our country, I fucking love this country. I genuinely do. I think that we are the fucking coolest fucking country. We are the most moral country. We have the best system. We have amazing freedom of speech. We have, you know, the freedom to like own a gun if we want to. You can go out and you can burn an American flag. And as much as I don't like that, you know what? They have the fucking right to do it because we have the First Amendment. A cop walks up to you and asks you what you're doing. You say, what the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want with me? Do you have any reason to be stopping me? In no other country in the fucking world can you talk to a cop like that, right? Do you have any reason to be detaining me, officer? No? Then I will be on my way. No other country you can do that shit. That's fucking based as fuck. I love my goddamn country. I love the disagreements in my country. I like looking back at some of the fucking arguments that were going on in the 80s, 90s, 2000s around the economy. I'm like, you know what? Both sides of this, they're both bringing up some pretty based fucking points. Both of them are right a little bit, and I don't agree with the policy of the other one, but they're not necessarily wrong. The problem that I have right now, in order to support Trump, you have to look past so much. Yeah, I would.
What am I having to look past?
I mean, I think that like the fucking loser attitude that he has around the 2020 election, the sore loser, leading to him like doing all the fuckery with the electoral college behind the scenes, right? Which is nobody contests this, right? People have pled guilty to like a bunch of shit. Okay, like this is just solidified actual fact, right? Like you can say that they had a legitimate legal theory or not, but it was not legitimate. It was, we're going to try and find any way possible.
Let me put it like this.
To leverage.
The reason why I specifically have a problem with the 2020 election is specifically because of mail-in ballots. You'll never be able to change my opinion about it because the only quote unquote, mail-in ballots that were mailed in, are actually called absentee ballots, and they were only ever allowed to military or other government officials that were assigned in
Or if you
areas
were a U.S. citizen
outside of the
outside of
United
the.
States.
Well, you don't have to be an
Da-da-da-da,
official.
right?
Like my girlfriend was like study abroad in 2016, and she
Okay,
was able
so
to get
but
an
they still
absentee
had
vote.
to, right? So they had to do different check-ins. They had to prove why they were there. Like there was a whole reason, like rhyme and reason as
Sure,
to
and you can
the
have
special
problems. Yeah,
accommodation.
you can have
Versus what
problems
they
with it.
did was just send out all of these ballots in the mail to everybody, and then they all get turned in, and then they go through this process of being counted that was completely new because this was a completely new way in which they were doing this. It wasn't done like this before. That is the one thing that we saw that was fucked.
Real quick,
Fucked.
I almost sympathize with the position. This is the problem, though, right? Like there was so much time and so much effort put into finding discrepancies in votes, trying to find things that went wrong with the mail-in ballots, trying to find, all the voter fraud or all the voter discrepancies and all of this stuff. There was so many man hours put into that, with hundreds of like lawyers across dozens of legal teams across every single fucking state in the country, and Trump's own personal lawyers and shit. And they weren't able to find fucking anything. The Arizona, state Congress, they got a whole ass audit of their election, and they found, and it was funded by a Trump ally. The company doing the audit was a Trump ally, and they found more votes for Joe Biden at the end of the day. After a 1.5 year long fucking audit, I think. All the people connected to filing the lawsuits in these states, Rudy Giuliani, said he knowingly lied about these things. And the reason he said that was because he was trying to get out. Well,
there was other situations too.
Lied.
There was other situations too where they weren't being as scrutinized, the ballots themselves, as they might have been otherwise had the person actually showed up at the voting booth. And for me, it comes down to that principle, right? Get your ass up off the couch, carry your ass down the voting booth, cast your fucking ballot. If there's a reason, a legitimate reason,
yeah,
then you're
I think
serving in some official capacity, or you're a student, and you're assigned to a place and you can't be away.
Yeah.
But just because you're too lazy to get up off the couch and go down there, because there's a lot of rideshare, they'll fucking have programs to help cart people down there too.
It didn't have anything to do with laziness. You remember what year
it had to do with a manufactured fucking disease that they played way out of fucking proportion. I told all y'all then that you were blowing it way the fuck out of proportion, and you could take your mask mandates and shove them straight up your ass.
Yeah, but other people didn't feel that way, and the government didn't
It doesn't matter how other people fucking felt. The reality of the situation is that for the majority of fucking people, whenever you're looking at it, if you didn't have a zombie land, people falling out, so you had governments all over the fucking world just scaring people for the fuck of it. And now people are fed up with that shit. People die every fucking day, Sondsol.
Yeah, but more people were dying
every day. Do you want to stop all fucking commerce, the entire thing that's keeping the other people fucking alive? You want to stop all of that because people die. People fucking die.
Well, you
don't
just
stop
depends on
the
why those
entire
people were
global
dying.
fucking network that's moving goods and services around. They keep everyone else fucking going, unless you got a zombie land fucking.
If there was like a virus that was making people's heads explode 1% of the time, right? With a population of 350 million people.
Yeah. If you had a virus like that, you wouldn't have to convince them to fucking stay indoors, would you? They'd be like, fuck you. I've
at the
seen that
beginning of the
shit.
pandemic, do you
Fucking
remember?
motherfucker's head exploded. They'd be
at the beginning
freaking
of the
the fuck out.
pandemic, it
But
was
you
the
got somebody and they're like,
conservatives. Hold
oh,
on,
you're going to
really
get a
quick.
cough.
At the beginning of the pandemic, it was the conservatives that were the ones that were like ringing the loudest alarm bells. Do you remember that?
No.
And we called them conspiracy theorists. And
Oh,
and that
yeah.
was,
Ringing the alarm bells. What do you mean when you say that?
they were the ones that were saying like, start stocking up on goods and essentials now. Start stocking up on masks. Start doing this and that because once the virus gets here, it's going to be a pandemic and people are going to start dying. And people were like, "This sounds like some doomsday prep bullshit. What the fuck?" And I was one of those people. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
You know
Right
what?
up
I'm
until-
going to be.
right
I'm
up
going to
until
point that
fucking
straight.
March.
Hold on. I got to straight that. I'm going to point that straight back at your personal choices that you make. Because you like to go chase down Nazis and shit, right? So you probably found one of those crazy ass people.
No, this was all over the place. People were making fun of them on Twitter. People were making jokes.
It
on
wasn't conservatives that were fucking going and grabbing the toilet paper out of fucking Walmart, bro.
Yeah, it was everybody was. That's why there was no toilet paper, because if only the conservatives or only the liberals did it, then there would be enough toilet paper.
It wasn't me.
Well, it might not have been you,
right?
But like,
I was the guy that was like, "Holy shit, this is actually a thing. People are actually buying up all the fucking toilet paper. This is crazy."
I mean, I couldn't believe that. I thought that it was a meme at first, but then I
thought it was a meme too. And then I get to the store and I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
But like, here's the thing: like, when it comes to the mail-in ballots, my guy, like, people were scared of COVID, and rightfully so. All right, like law of large numbers.
So.
Well, we're not going to agree on that.
So.
But like, I'm just going to keep going, okay? Because we're not going to agree on that. All right, but there was a feeling in the air. Okay?
So since we don't agree on that fundamental thing, right? And that's a fundamental thing. Now, for me, it's even more bedrock than it was before. If the government tells me that I should be afraid, the government is the one that should be afraid, right? Because if you come around here with that bullshit, you're going to have to kill me.
Would you listen to him? Or would you say, I'm standing my fucking ground?
I'd probably fucking verify it with Elon Musk first, if I'm being honest.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, the way you guys simp for that guy is just like, it's like...
Fucking, the only reason we got any kind of free speech right now is because of Elon buying Twitter.
That's just...
Dude, he broke the whole system when he fucking did that shit.
He did. He also lost a ton of fucking money, and Twitter is dying because no one wants to advertise there because of the rampant...
It's a good thing that that's not his only stream of revenue, ain't it?
Well,
he made a calculated decision when he did that.
He's suing them because he's like, "Oh, you guys, if you're gonna blackmail me with money, you can go fuck yourselves." That was 2 years ago, and then like a week ago, he's like, "Why aren't you guys advertising with me?" And he sued them, and he's just like created a massive lawsuit that he's going to lose because you can't force someone.
Disney straightened out down here in Florida. They straightened out, from what I understand.
I think that people just stopped attacking them because they realized they couldn't win. But anyways, like, look, when it comes to the mail-in ballots, you can feel any way that you want about it. But like, even when Trump's teams investigated it, when there was like massive fucking audits in like multiple states, multiple times, like I said, in Arizona, they hired a Trump ally, hired a like friendly to Trump organization to do an audit of Arizona's elections, and they ended up finding more votes for Biden at the end of the day that were verified and 100% like verified to be true. And like at a certain point, like, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about Trump. Like at a certain point, you got to give it up when you don't have any evidence.
But what I'd have to know that there's
about it.
What I would have to know, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing he'd have to know or anybody else would have to know, right? That sits in the same fucking chair that I happen to be sitting in, that thinks that the mail-in ballots were bullshit that shouldn't have been a part of the election process in 2020, regardless of any kind of bullshit with COVID.
But they were And there's nothing that
And
we
they
can do
definitely need
change
to
that.
not be a part of this one, regardless of whatever the fuck moving forward either. Go down there, cast your ballot.
I expect fewer people will use mail-in ballots this time than last time, but I guess we'll have to see.
We'll see.
But like, at
If
what
you
point,
end up having a whole bunch to get mailed in for Harris, guess what? We're seeing a repeat
what if a
of
whole
before.
bunch? What if a whole bunch got mailed in for Trump? Would those be fake then?
That's exactly why we don't need to have that.
Well, no, it's because I wouldn't
If
contest
this
them.
side, look, if
Well,
this
no,
side
it's
over
because I
here is
wouldn't-
saying we don't need to have it, and then you want to flip the script, and we're like, nah, we just don't need to have it.
But like, see how like you say when like a bunch come in for Kamala, right? It's like, well, if they were for Trump, you probably wouldn't think twice about it, right? It's like
the fact that the question's being posed without considering
but
the
like
fact
let's even like drop all this. Let me grant you that like people still have like a grievance, okay? But like, at what point should a guy who like even though there's not been any evidence found, like he tried to find evidence, he couldn't find any evidence, none of his allies could find any evidence in independent investigations. At what point do you just call this guy a fucking whiner who's whining about losing with no evidence that it was cheated from him? When do you get to call someone a whiner, a whiny little, right? Where's the strength of the conservatives? Conservatives are like supposed to be like the counter to the soy libcucks that I fucking hate, okay? But like instead, we're simping for a guy who has been whining for 4 fucking years. And instead of, like sucking it up,
you're
and saying,
acting like that's the only thing he ever talks about.
It is a large chunk of what he talks about. Literally,
How much do you actually listen to what he says?
I listen to as much as I can stomach CTV, but it kind of gets old when you hear the same fucking thing over and over. He's lost the what's the word? The novelty, because he used to say like new crazy shit over, and like every time you heard him talk, he would say some more crazy shit. But now it's just the same crazy shit over and over, and it's kind of boring to listen to him now. And it's kind of sad when you watch a bunch of people walking out of his rallies.
So I guess the next question is
well, hold on. Let me just get an answer to my question super quick. When it comes to like someone who just like will not accept defeat, right? And he's gone through every cope avenue to show that he was cheated, and no avenue has shown any malfeasance whatsoever. At what point can we call him a whiny little?
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, like I was saying, if you're going if the only thing you're going to do is just like say, listen to what my reasoning was, assume that it's not a part of his reasoning, and then go, okay. It's like, no, it's obviously a part of it, and you'd be like, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from, CTV. It's like, okay, cool. So then you can at least understand where they're coming from, whether or not you agree with how they choose to deal with it. Right, which is a completely different question that you're asking me. I'm not
That's
a
what
fucking psychologist. I'm not prescribing them fucking medication for the shit that they're doing.
This is why I think that you like ought to care, because like if you had a friend who was like,
I only care about the policies in which the motherfucker's going to be put in place once they get put in office, and I want that office restricted to only be in, like, that's the whole thing, right? Is that I want the government framed, working in a way to where it doesn't matter who I put in that fucking office, it only has these certain powers and they can't go fucking crazy, right? What we're doing right now with the executive is asking the executive to do too fucking much. The War Powers Act needs to be repealed. For damn sure.
You realize that because of Trump, the powers of the president were made into like God King status. Like the president literally cannot be questioned on like 99% of the shit that he does in office.
True.
Literally it is.
That's
Any communications within his branch cannot be questioned. They cannot
Everything
be
can be questioned all the time.
No, because you can't pull any of it you can't subpoena it It is constitutional. Like, according to the Supreme Court, we're not allowed to subpoena any of the things that are said inside of a cabinet meeting, right? Or to trump to any of the people that are the heads of any executive office. So whether it's the FBI, whether it's the DOJ, whether it's the CIA, whether it's the FDA, it doesn't fucking matter. Any three-letter agency, any president's, their correspondence there is now unimpeachable. You cannot ask for it to investigate any crime. It is unimpeachable. There is no way to get around that. They explicitly say that in the ruling. Okay?
You have someone that is actively in office doing. I'm confused here.
So the reason this is bad is because when it comes to the criminal prosecution of Donald Trump, they were using the things that he was saying to his advisors, to the people within his executive branch, as evidence of the things that he did, right? The correspondence of him like telling people to lie just to buy them a little bit more time. And now they can't necessarily use these things as evidence in court because he is granted absolute immunity for anything that he like speaks to anyone in his administration. You cannot at all question that. Now, there are some things that people will try and point at and say, oh, well, you know, there's like two different kinds of immunity. There is absolute immunity, which is what I was talking about. Can't question that shit, right? And then there's oh, fuck, I just had the word in my mind. The not implied immunity, but or you have to suppose immunity, right? So let's say that presumptive immunity, yeah. So you have to presume a president is immune if whatever you're accusing them of, right, could interfere with any action the president could ever take when it comes to his official actions. So if it could be argued that he's acting in his official capacity, right, then you can't question that. That's the presumptive immunity. So if you say, hey, I think that what you're doing here is illegal, if the president can make a case that says, well, if I can't do this, it interferes with my ability to act as the executive in the things that I was granted as powers in the Constitution, if this would interfere with anything like that in any way, then they have presumptive immunity, which means that they can't be charged for anything, or that can't be used as evidence either. And then they talk about personal acts. Well, that would be like if he literally walked up to someone and just started raping them on the street, right? That would be probably a personal act unless he could make some weird argument in court. But outside of that, anything that he does in-house, CTV, it's immune. And that's really fucked up.
You know,
I hate that.
I really expect that the president would be. I can't see a situation where the person that got elected to office, right, is all of a sudden not going to be able to fulfill the duties of their office, right? Like when Nixon understood that he was going to end up going through some fucking procedures, he just said, nah, bro, I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, they're like, fuck it. He said he's out. Fuck, we ain't going to worry about it. That's essentially what happened there.
Well, they
but
did
that's
impeach
where
him,
there's
but
like
then
yeah. So like the fact of the matter is this whole 34 counts that they just got through taking him through.
Oh, that was a separate thing.
That's all just bullshit.
Well,
right?
that was a separate case, very like completely different thing that they're talking about there.
And see, and then that's where that's the other thing too, right? It's like this whole system is being weaponized right now against an individual. Everybody can see that happening, and because they can see that happening, it makes them go, well, that's fucked up itself.
Well, think about it from my point of view. All right. Maybe Trump just does a lot of illegal shit, man. Maybe like
Right.
the heel character that he wanted everyone to believe that he was in the 80s and 90s is actually who he is as a person. And like all of his personal like actions and his personality and all of that kind of leads me to think that it's more likely that he's just kind of like a
What kind of guy do
billionaire
you want to be?
gangster.
Look, okay, let me ask you this question. When it comes to the office of president, what do you see that office as
I think that the
on the
person
world
in the
stage?
office I think that the person in the
No,
office
not
of
the
the
person.
president.
I don't give a fuck about the person right now.
Oh,
I'm
I thought
asking
you
you about
asked me
the
about the person.
office on the world stage, just the office.
On the world
We don't
stage.
get into I'm not getting into the individual personalities of the people there because, frankly, that shouldn't fucking matter.
It
What should matter is the
absolutely
office.
matters. It absolutely
Ah,
matters. Knowing their
it-
character. I want a president that has character, that has like a
Oh
moral
my
center
God,
to him.
Jesus! All I'm hearing now is fucking feelings. I want office structure. I don't want the president to go,
I'm sorry.
yeah, on a fucking whim, I'm just going to go do this. No, asshole. I
CTV,
don't
let
give
me
a fuck
ask you
what your
this.
personality is.
Would you rather have a a school teacher or a serial killer as a president?
I don't know. Are we going to war? Who's the fucking serial killer? I've got legitimate questions here.
Listen, I want someone that is in the most powerful seat in the entire fucking world to be not only a strong person, not only a smart person, right? I want them to be able to have the moral fiber to like uphold the principles of the fucking United States of America. I want the person.
What are those principles? I'm so confused because I've been hearing a bunch of communist bullshit get fucking spout by Democrats for a long fucking time.
Fuck, I just looked at the time. I got like 4 minutes. Okay. What are the principles? The fucking Constitution. The thing that Trump has said multiple times, whether you think he's joking or not, that he would suspend the fucking Constitution. Whether it was because they were counting ballots when he didn't want them to count the ballots anymore in 2020. Whether it was that like they need to suspend the Constitution.
Was in office when that happened and it didn't happen. It's like, geez.
Yeah, because like when he was tweeting these things,
everybody
around
like
him.
This rumor mill that
no. There's no. It's not a
they
rumor
start
mill.
pumping the shit out on the media. Next
it's things that he said. It's things that he said and did. CTV. It's things that he believes.
If you believe that shit, then how come we don't have records of this shit going back to the 80s and 90s? But we have records that have him saying the exact same shit
Literally
today
everything
that he was
I'm
saying
telling you
back in the 80s and 90s.
Hold on. What are you talking about? Maybe we're talking about different things. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's fucking video of Trump saying the same shit back then that he's saying today when it comes to government, the way it should run, et cetera, et cetera.
There is, and there's also a bunch of videos of him saying that if I wanted to run for president, I would probably run as a Republican because those guys are fucking and I could convince them of anything. I think he said that to Oprah Winfrey.
Well, he didn't say that.
It was like almost word for word. Take out the cursing and the retard.
Not anywhere near word for word. I watched the Oprah. It was.
he said that like I would run for as a Republican because those people will fall for anything or something along those lines.
Oh.
Okay, but like what I'm talking about are the recorded statements that we have on record on.
I feel like you just got like this thing against Trump. I feel like it's just
it's
TDS
not,
2.0.
How about this? Like that phrase fucking makes me see red. Like anytime someone criticizes Trump, it's Trump derangement syndrome. Like, okay, it's not specifically against Trump. Because I feel the same way about a lot of different people in the world. All right. Like when I
How about this? You're asking me to have faith in an untested VP that has a worse fucking record with black people than pretty much anybody when as her time as a fucking prosecutor. That's right?
Simply not true. But like, if you want to talk about someone who has no experience in like to be the president, Donald Trump literally had never held an office
And yet
becoming
now
president.
he's held 4 years of the office that he's running for again. That's the guy I want.
Despite everything,
As a matter of
though,
fact, he's only
like-
going to get one more term period. So let's just go ahead and get it.
No, because I don't think that he is. I don't think that he is a good person for our country. I think he's an anti-American fucking hack. It's like the more I love my country, the more I hate Donald Trump.
Right.
I hated him
because he's
I
been
hated him
saying he
less.
loves the country since the 80s and 90s. His whole campaign is literally make America great again, but he's anti-American.
He says things to get elected, but everything he says along the way is self-aggrandizement, like the appearance, like the aesthetic of America, it's like a sickly, like deformed love, someone took acid and then looked at 50s Americana fucking propaganda and then was like, or no, I'm sorry, not 50s, 80s. Because that's the time period he wants to go back to when he was, fucking cool. All right. Not when he was this fucking whiny loser baby who like goes around and all he does is suck his own, like fucking Marilyn Manson, removing 2 ribs on stage every single fucking night, self-aggrandizing and saying how he's the only hope for America, like not bringing together anyone, never offering that fucking like olive branch to like walk across the aisle, never being able to negotiate despite being like the biggest fucking businessman of all fucking time. Somehow this guy wasn't able to negotiate with a hostile fucking party for fucking anything. Meanwhile, Joe Biden was able to with like the narrowest fucking split of Congress and the Senate of I think in literally American history, all 4 years was able to get past some of the most like put off legislation that this country has ever seen, stuff that has not been passed since I was literally fucking born in 1995. Like, if you want to talk about like someone that's going to be strong in office, where the fuck was Trump when he was supposed to be the strong man that was supposed to, wrangle the Democrats and try and make a deal? Where were the fucking deals, CTV? Because the only major piece of legislation that came out of Donald Trump's fucking fat sausage little fingers was the tax bill that he passed. That was the literal only major piece of legislation that Donald Trump has his signature on. And it's maddening. And I'm ranting at you, and I apologize. I'm giga high. And the higher I get, for some reason, I get meaner. I don't get chiller. Okay? I get funnier and I get meaner.
I wouldn't say you're funnier.
I'm funny as fuck, okay?
I mean, I guess if
But like that's my perspective, and you don't have to subscribe to it. Like, I'm not gonna like force you to subscribe to my perspective like immediately.
I just feel like the Democrats fucking wanted to hate Trump from the start because he's pretty much like a almost Democrat, as far as a lot of his ideas over the years, and because he didn't fucking run with them, they got a fucking issue with him. He's a billionaire that's not playing their fucking game. Matter of fact, he called them on their shit whenever he fucking told them. He says, I use the same tax breaks as you and your fucking buddies, but you won't change the fucking tax code because you're using the fucking same shit. So he told him exactly what the
reason
game
that Democrats
was.
started hating, and granted, I'll say even now, I would say that, and I could change my mind back on this, all right? But like, I think that the reason that people started fucking hating Trump on the left was probably the way that he fucking talked about people in 2015 on the campaign trail. I would say it was his initial campaign for president that made Democrats fucking hate him. I don't think it has anything to do with his billionaire status. I don't think it has anything to do with, him telling it how it is, right? Because people loved Bernie and he was calling out the Dems all the fucking time. And we don't see nearly as much fucking hate for that guy, right? I think that like there's a personality clash. I think he just kind of has a shit personality.
I just think that most people nowadays are just fucking looking to be offended. I think that
and I'm looking to offend. I feel like I've offended you a little bit with my rant.
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm just checking and making sure you're not hating me right now.
No, it really just comes down to people not being educated in Well, the things that are important as an American, right? The Constitution, the original framework, how the history has developed, and, you know, why it is that we need to start taking steps to rein power back in. And if we don't, then ultimately everything's going to fall apart because that's what happens. History's proven this time and time and time again. So it's one of those where, like, I can see the writing on the wall, and and it's not just me. A lot of people can see the writing on the wall. The whole "Make America Great Again" movement is all about getting back to those roots. You know, if people think that open borders are a good idea, that's not somewhere I want. That's not the United States. It's not a country. You know, that's a piece of land that has no sovereignty, no
Real quick, I don't mean to
official
cut you off.
capacity.
I told you I needed to leave in 4 minutes, 8 minutes ago.
See you, buddy.
Hey, man. Hey, I just want to say I love you. I'm sorry I got a little bit I got a little bit animated there. I genuinely do love my country, and that's like my feelings on it. I'm not trying to be like a bitch to you. I'm not trying to like grind you down and get clips or anything. I'm giga high, okay, and I get a little bit more animated when I'm high, but I do like super gotta go. All right,
See you, buddy.
all right, love you, buddy. Catch you later. All right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and raid into relevant. Raid relevant. I just want to make sure I'm spelling that right. I love you guys very much, but it is time for me to leave. This is a longer, or it's not even a longer stream. It's just a later stream than normal. But yeah, I will catch you guys probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. Catch you guys later.